let me take a time out to say a special good morning to those of you listening to Classic Radio, 105.5, 105.9. Those of you viewing us via GBN TV, whether it's Channel 7, Channel 11, Channel 20, good morning. What about those of you via social media platforms, whether it's a Facebook page, YouTube channels, good morning. And those of you via, of course, our GBN's website, that's gbn.gd, good morning to you. Welcome. It's To The Point. I'm your host, GT. I'll be with you until it's 10 a.m. this morning. And usually on Thursday, we do entertain various departments within the RGPF. And this morning, we do have the Immigration Department. I could say that. And let me say good morning to my guests. I think I got those names. We have for you Sergeant Fraser and WPC Patrick with us this morning. Let me say good morning to both of you and welcome. Welcome to The Point.
Good morning.
All right, good morning. Thank you.
All right. Welcome. So our focus of the conversation this morning will be on immigration. Immigration. Folks may think about, hey, well, when you say immigration, is it the process of individuals coming to the country? Folks would say, you're immigrant if you're coming from St. Patrick's to St. George's too, right? But we're talking more in the context of folks coming to the island, in that particular context. Let's put some conversation this morning in terms of the process of individuals when it comes to illegal immigration. I want to focus a little bit on that this morning. From time to time we say, well, somebody's on the island illegally. How does someone deemed as someone being an immigrant on the island illegally? If we could speak about it in that term.
All right. So good morning to you, the general public, and good morning to you, GT. And actually, it's Corporal Patrick.
Corporal Patrick, WPC. Did I say yes. WPC?
Yes, you did.
All right. My fault.
That's okay.
Patrick.
Yes.
All right.
So I'm going to talk about what constitutes an illegal entry or what makes a person illegal in Grenada. Right? So someone entering the state of Grenada without the permission or authorization of an immigration officer, or someone entering outside of an authorized port of entry.
All right.
So you know that in Grenada we have various ports of entry that are authorized ports to enter. So someone entering into a port outside of the authorized port, for example, you have a fishing boat coming down to Grenada with maybe some Vincentian nationals or Trinidadian national or any other national outside of Grenada, and they decide to enter through a port that is not authorized. Yes. So they may come maybe on one of the bays or maybe just on Granite's Beach. They pull up on a boat and they decide, okay, I'm here, and they just embark and they just go about their business.
What are the consequences that could derive from that for an individual, of course, coming to the island, as you said, illegally?
Well, they can be charged, right? They can be charged and they can be brought to the court.
All right. Mm-hmm. So basically, I mean, and that is what can an individual who may have, if I could switch the question a little bit, who may have entered the island illegally and maybe wants to seek an asylum? What is the process that an individual wants to go through? If it cannot be answered.
Well, Grenada, the state of Grenada doesn't, in its law, doesn't make provision for asylum seekers per se. But we have cases of that nature. I think we will see how best we can deal with it, in a situation whereby we able to satisfy both sides of, both the individual, the traveler, and the immigration department. But Grenada in its laws, we don't have provision for asylum seekers.
Right. Really. So you come in illegally, more or less. Once there's the situation that you'll be someday in contact with the law, you could be deported or sent back.
There could be a possibility. Yes.
Now, what's the responsibility of the general public in relations to illegal entry from individuals? How does the public fit into that?
Well, the public itself should be aware. What we would like the public to do is more or less inform the immigration department of persons you believe to be illegal immigrants. And in so doing, you can just call the immigration department or call any police station and inform us of persons. You don't have to give your name. You could just let us know that you believe that you've seen some people, some foreign people or immigrants, and you're concerned, so you don't have to give your name. We could just, and then we'll look into it. Right. Secondly, persons should also inform the department of influx. If you see an influx of a particular set of people in your community, your neighborhood, we will ask you, would appreciate if you can call in and let us inform us of your observations. So being you could, pay attention to person's accents, that way we know for far whether they might be illegal immigrants. Okay. Or any act of, you see a boat pull up in a particular area, you see people get off the boat, look, any suspicious acts whatsoever, we encourage you to get in touch with the immigration department and report, whether it's immigration or the police. We work hand in hand, so we encourage you to do that.
All right. The sole responsibility of the immigration department as it comes to immigrants on coming to the island, what's the sole responsibility? Who's going to take up on that?
Well, the sole responsibility is you check with an immigration officer. Immigration officers, we have 8 ports of entry into Grenada. Yeah. And just to list them, MBI, which is Maurice Bishop International Airport, the Lauriston Airport, Port Louis Marina, Cruise Ship Terminal, the Port St. George, Prickly Bay Marina, Grenada Marine, and Grenville Port. These are the official ports or prescribed ports of entry into Grenada. And persons coming to Grenada is expected to use those ports. We expect you to come in either one of them ports and present yourself, identify and present yourself to an immigration officer. Outside of that, you could be deemed to be a prohibited alien. And for whatever reason, you can be in contravention, you can contravene the laws of the Act, the Immigration Act.
All right. Let's proceed. There's someone on another island who is listening to this program this morning, and they're saying, "What is the paperwork I need? In terms of coming to an island and to an island." We all understand. Yes, we need a passport, but someone may be thinking maybe I don't, because we know the Caribbean now. CARICOM and the free movement and so forth. What is needed in terms of when someone wants to come to an island?
Okay, if I should add something from where Sergeant Fraser left off, we also have the ports at Tyrrell Bay, Carriacou, and Lauriston Airport in Carriacou. So as you indicated, a person also need a passport to enter Grenada. Other documents depends on your purpose of visit to Grenada. Right? You must have a passport that allows you entry, but some people may come on vacation. So basically what they need is to have enough funds and stuff like that. With CARICOM, we land you for 6 months on arrival. That is their rights. Right. Under the OECS Economic Union, that's countries such as St. Vincent St. Lucia, the Eastern Caribbean. Once you arrive in Grenada, we land you indefinitely. And you can come here, you can work and enjoy all the rights as a citizen of Grenada.
Okay, but you also do need a passport to come in.
You need your passport
to come in.
Yes.
All right. And in terms of coming to the island, is it permitted stuff coming to the island via just using a basic ID and stuff? Is that permitted? In Grenada port of entry?
You can do that if you're an OECS national. You can use an ID at the ports of entry. But for any other nationality, you need a valid passport.
Okay, great. Let's speak a wee bit in the process now. Let's talk about deportation. I see we pretty moving through the process this morning. Mm-hmm. Someone coming to the island and maybe not coming to the island illegally. For some reason, they've been reported or come into contact with the law and the process of deportation. Let's speak a wee bit about the process of that. How does that go through?
Well, basically, the Minister of National Security is responsible for deporting persons out of Grenada. And this process will start basically most time with immigration, where we find somebody in breach of the Immigration Act, and we go through the process where we inform the minister of that person, and he has a responsibility to have that person being deported and remain outside of Grenada.
All right.
Immigration is responsible after the deportation is the order is granted. Immigration is responsible for execution of the order on the individual, and in doing so, we read the deportation order to the person, and also we have to provide them with a copy of the deportation order.
What are some of the main reasons when an individual will be, of course, deemed to be deported?
Okay, so a convicted person who the court recommends to the minister,
Okay.
you can be deported. It can be part of the sentence, or in addition to the sentence, or in lieu of the sentence.
Right. So only that's where someone commits a crime.
Yes,
that they could
somebody,
be
yes.
deported for that.
Yes, and to continue, an undesirable person can also be deported.
Undesirable. When you
Yes.
say someone is undesirable.
That is someone who conducts themselves as a danger to public peace, good order, good governance, or public moral.
Okay.
Yes.
So those are just the two factors? Or
No,
there's
if I should continue, a destitute person. And a destitute person is a person to likely become a charge on the public purse or public funds. And then we have a prohibited alien.
Okay.
Okay, so a prohibited alien is someone who has refused leave to land in Grenada. So that person can be deported.
All right. So those are mainly the three factors that could cause you to be deported?
Yeah, well, basically
Policy.
four. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
We're due for a break. Let's take our first break, and when we come back, we continue with much more. Stay with us, folks. It's To The Point here, Classic Radio GBN TV. We talking to the Immigration Department this morning. Stay with us. We have much more when we come back. Don't touch it out.
Get ready for non-stop cricket excitement as GBN brings you live coverage of this year's Republic Bank Caribbean Premier League. Please note there will be some adjustments to our regular programming lineup. On Tuesday, September 10th through Friday, September 13th, transitions will be at 5:05 p.m. GBN television news will air at 6 p.m., followed by a repeat right after the CPL match. And don't miss the rebroadcast of transitions after the news repeat. GBN with you anywhere and everywhere with the best in sports coverage. Stay tuned and stay informed with GBN.
Welcome back, listeners. Welcome back, viewers, To The Point, Classic Radio GBN TV. Once again, let me say good morning to, of course, Sergeant Fraser and, of course, Constable Patrick with us this morning. And we're talking immigration this morning. Our next segment, I want to get to the segment. Let's speak to say like someone enters the island. They may have entered legally. Let's leave it on that part. But decides, hey, I want to remain in Grenada for a lengthy period of time. Let's talk about it in the sense of someone entering legally first. And then we could also get some explanation, someone probably entering the island illegally. I'm assuming that's two different processes, right? So the process of entering legally, and you've been here you've probably been given, I know most of when you enter, you've been given a period of time that you can stay. Let's say a minimum 6 months.
Yes.
And you decide you want to extend or probably just regularize yourself to stay on island. Let's speak about that just a wee bit.
All right. Well, the regulation process relating to illegal immigrants. That particular area is how we deal with persons who are in Grenada and are here illegally. So first and foremost, we advise and we encourage persons, if you're living in Grenada illegally, in the true sense, you have no documentation, no authorization, you can come into the immigration department and have a conversation with us. Instead of just remaining here and you have no status, you're just here. The true sense is like you overstay, and in a sense you are really violating the Immigration Act. So we encourage persons, you are coming to us, and we deal with it. We can deal with the situation on a case-to-case basis. All right, instead of just remaining here illegally, come in so we could have that conversation. We could have that sit down and discuss your situation. Most of the time, we advise persons. Maybe we could apply and maybe guide them on how they go about applying for resident status, and then for citizenship. But we encourage you to come in, and instead of just remaining illegal here, come to us and we could have that conversation. Most cases, persons are different. People come with different cases. We can do it on a case-to-case basis. Persons have different circumstances under which they're here. But we do encourage you to come in so we can have the conversation.
Someone may have entered the island, may have decided, I'm only staying a month. Yeah, a month run into a year for some reason. They can come and have a conversation with you. They're coming for a period of time. Was not expecting to work or anything of that sort. What was that process? How does immigration play the process in that? Especially when someone comes in and decides, I may have only entered the island. I'm talking from a legal point of view now. I come here just for a month or two. I've been here for a couple of months, started working and stuff like that. What is sort of encouragement or advice would you give to individuals who may have been in the process of doing that?
Okay, so a person here, they entered legally, they were granted, let's say, 6 months leave, right? And after that person decides, well, okay, Grenada is nice, I would like to remain and work here. So we want to advise you, the first thing you need to do, you would have to have your status changed.
Yes.
So you must change your status, and that is done at our office.
So that process takes place at the immigration department.
Yes.
Also.
You also need to go to the Ministry of Labor.
Yeah.
And that's where you have to apply for a work permit to remain and work in Grenada. So we also work in connection with Ministry of Labor, where they can change their status and put in an application for a work permit. And once that work permit is granted, it's a process. Once it's granted, then they no longer requires extension of stay, because the extension of stay is granted at the immigration office, where maybe you want to remain but you don't want to work. So you just want to spend more time on vacation. You may be retired and you want to spend more time in Grenada. You come to the immigration office where you can apply for extension of stay. It's $75 per month. Okay, so once you come to the office, we'll do a short interview with you, and it's granted. You can remain. But if you want to work, it's Ministry of Labor. You apply for a work permit, but you must change your immigration status as well. Because if you're coming on vacation, you cannot just go and work without changing your status.
Is there reasons where individuals wanting to regularize their status, and what reason will contravene them not being giving that opportunity?
Well, if how should I put it? Persons, as I say, you're going to be on a case-to-case basis. So you're definitely going to need to have that interview with that person, hear what is the current status, see what they're doing in the country. You probably may do a background check, and who they are, verify exactly who they are. If they're not dealing with criminal element, maybe based on the country they come in, we just run checks. We have that coalition where we can verify someone criminal record,
So I guess there's a vetted process that goes
through. That's certainly, yeah. And so if for whatever reason you may not fit those areas, in a sense, if it doesn't satisfy us, it's possible that we may ask you to leave. But most of the cases, as I said, sometimes you may commit a crime in another country or for whatever reason, but here you've been a good person, per se. So as I say, it's case to case. We analyze each aspect of it before we make a determination.
All right.
If I should add, you also have to make sure that they have sufficient funds
Yes.
to sustain themselves while in Grenada, because you
All
don't
right.
want them to be here and they run out of funds. They can.
All right. So that's interesting to note, because someone wanted to stay here. Maybe, as you mentioned, also in an answer you was giving, they're here on vacation for some reason, and they decide they want to extend their time. Is having that information relevant to the person's financial status is also important.
Yes, and also have a return ticket.
A return ticket is
Yes,
also
yes.
well. Okay, interesting.
Because we doesn't want that individual to become destitute and on the public purse just the same way.
Yeah.
So we want to make sure that you could in a position to sustain yourself while you're here.
What if the opportunity presents itself where an individual comes to immigration and said, "Hey, I may have overstayed my time, but I want to return. I don't have the funds to purchase myself a ticket to return back." How does the immigration deal with that process, if that ever have occurred? If that process ever occurred?
Well, yes, we had situations like that in the past, but. When you arrive, we give you that responsibility for whatever reason. Most persons come into Grenada and they're visiting someone.
Yeah.
All right. When you come, I'm coming to Mr. Whoever the person is, and usually since an arrival at the airport, we take this information from that individual, and this information has been recorded, so we know who you came to, who came to visit you, who came to the airport to say, okay, well, I'm responsible for that individual for the period of time while they're here in Grenada. And for whatever reason, we tends to take that, put that person responsible for that individual. So just in case there is any need of any form of assistance later on down, that person is who we're going to refer to.
Okay.
When we have a situation of that nature. So, but the person coming here, they still have a responsibility to be able to leave this state. Or as I say, that's one of the points we just made. We don't want person to become destitute, because in that case, the person could be also considered a destitute person. They're in a position whereby they cannot even purchase a ticket to leave Grenada. So automatically it becomes a burden on the public funds. So these are the areas that we try to avoid. But we've seen situations where we're able to work it out with persons, maybe get friends, family, relatives who might be able to assist in purchasing ticket. But we do have cases, not that often, but and we don't want to encourage it. We don't want persons to come in thinking that the immigration department is going to be responsible for them to facilitate a ticket or something to return to the country. No, we don't do that. Automatically become, a destitute, and if you and the truth is, you could be kept in custody, until you're in a situation whereby you might be able to leave the state by yourself.
Let's talk a wee bit about concerns. When the concerns from the immigration department and relates to illegal entry. What are some of the main concerns that the immigration departments have when it comes to illegal entry?
Some of the concerns that we have as it relates to the illegal entries is that persons entering illegally may come to Grenada for various reasons, right? So, for example, somebody might come to flee prosecution from another country.
Yes.
Right? So that in itself, they may use Grenada as a hiding place.
Okay.
Right? So that's the main reason they may try to enter Grenada illegally.
Okay.
Because you don't want to get into the system where you can be tracked.
All right.
Right? So that is a concern for us. We also we also have the issue with health and safety. For example, we just had COVID, and if somebody enters Grenada without the permission from an immigration officer, or they enter in a port, in an unauthorized port, like they just come in, let's say, one of the bays, and without checking with an immigration officer, there is no record in our system where we can track the person. And what if the person has a communicable disease?
Yeah.
You understand? So therefore, they will be in the community spreading it, and there is no way we can trace it, because they would not have interface with immigration or health authorities. So that person could be in the community spreading disease that we know we have to find out, well, where that came from and how are we going to deal with it. So it creates a headache for all of us, not only the immigration officers or the health officers, but as a country as a whole.
Yes.
You understand? So it's very important that the public assists the group of us as immigration officers to deal with these illegal entries reported, as the sergeant stated earlier. All right? And also prevention of crimes. In other words, what I'm trying to say here is persons may be contracted to come to Grenada to commit a crime. So that person, they may choose to come in illegally.
Yes.
So we know we have to ensure that this does not happen. Right? So it is very important that we try our best to secure the borders, do checks, public really information there, so that we can protect Grenada.
All right. Anything you want to add to that, Sergeant?
Well, I think she had it right. I recall probably a couple months ago where we had cases of crime committed and by non-nationals, I presume non-nationals, and he was tracking them and trying to identify who they was an issue. So again, as the corporal indicated, we've seen a little trend whereby foreigners, immigrants coming in, and committing crimes.
Yeah.
So that is very concerning to us, and even for illegal. We talk about the gun amnesty, the illegal firearms and stuff. These things is not coming in Grenada. It's coming outside of Grenada, and people that is coming most of the times, persons coming illegally. These are the people who tends to bring in those firearms. So it's a concern to the Royal Grenada Police Force and the Immigration Department, and we encourage the person themselves outside. Persons they believe to be illegal persons, illegal acts. Please report it, guide us. Work with us. We're willing to work with the public in all areas, and encourage you to report those acts.
All right.
Let us know what you see, what you observe happening in your area.
All right. Another question I want to ask, in terms of the responsibility, or is it the responsibility, I should ask, of the Immigration Department in terms of individuals who are deported back to Grenada? Let's say, for instance, a Grenadian may have committed a crime on another island and he's been deported back to Grenada. Whose responsibility is it? Is it the Immigration Department or just the police department as a whole? That relates to that.
Well, persons deported from Grenadians deported back to Grenada. Itself is from the country where they deported. They had a responsibility. They make all the provisions to have the person return to Grenada. Yeah. And in some cases, they would alert us that person is expected to arrive a particular time, flight and stuff. So, in most of the cases, they let us know, especially international countries, United States and stuff. They would let us know ahead of times that they have somebody that has been deported, and it's possible they may give us the reason sometimes why they are deported. But that country take that responsibility to have that person here. When the person arrive here in Grenada, we carry out an interview. We get most of the times if it's criminal, we get our CID people and stuff, come have them fingerprinted, photograph, interview, most of the process. And most of the time that is done at the airport. So, we record, we keep a record of persons.
All right, and then they are let back into society.
Yes, society, that's right. Because the crimes they commit is not crimes in Grenada per se. They don't violate the laws of Grenada in a sense.
All right. We drew for a break. Once again, we're coming right back. Stay with us, folks. To the point here, Classic Radio, GBN TV. We'll be right back after the break. Don't touch it out.
Won't want to miss. GIDC Business Deals Day is happening on Saturday, October 12th from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. at the Frequenty Industrial Park playing field. Explore the latest products and service offerings from businesses within the industrial parks. Enjoy discounts on GIDC business support services and get fantastic deals on household items, building materials, accessories, condiments, and more, with exciting prizes up for grabs throughout the day. But that's not all. Dive into a mini health fair and career expo for valuable health education and employment opportunities, all while enjoying the songs of Trio the Band and DJ Graphic Sounds. It will be a fun-filled day filled with eats, drinks, games, deals, and more. Mark your calendars and join the GIDC at Frequenty Industrial Park playing field on Saturday, October 12th from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. See you there.
The Grenada Motor Club will be hosting its second and final international drag racing event for 2024 at Pearls International Speedway on September 28th and 29th. Expect the fastest set of drag cars and bikes the Caribbean has to offer. September 27th, meet and greet at Lavo Lanes. September 28th, test and tune bracket race qualifiers. And after drags, chill out at Sizzle Bar and Lounge. September 29th, drag race finals at Pearls International Speedway. There will be a special guest appearance by one of the Caribbean's top drag racers and a special drift performance by one of the Caribbean's top drifter. Mark the dates. September 28th and 29th at Pearls International Speedway is the place to be. You don't want to miss this one.
Welcome back, listeners. Welcome back, viewers, once again to the point for today, Thursday, the 12th of September. And we have the Immigration Department with us this morning, and we're talking immigration this morning. Our next segment of the conversation, I want to move a wee bit to passports. The Immigration Department of Hubert will be responsible for passport issuing and granting passports individual. Let's talk about the process that individual have to do, especially when it comes to updating, a passport, getting a new one, renewing. Someone is overseas, they probably wants a passport. What are these processes that individual have to go? Let's start first in terms of updating one's passport, probably getting a new one. Let's start on that process first.
Okay, so as it relates to updating the passport, and I must begin by mentioning the recent updates.
Yes.
In terms of the validity and the fees of a passport. As of July 1st, 2024, the Passport Act and Regulation was amended. And the validity of a passport is now 10 years.
Okay.
Right? but it remains 5 years for persons under 18 years.
Okay.
And the fees have changed. For the 10 years, it's $350, but it remains the same for persons under 18 years of age. Right? So, in terms of applying for a new passport, if you're an adult, 18 years and above, I'm referring to, you complete the application form.
Yes.
You must produce your documents that makes you a citizen of Grenada. So if you're a Grenadian by birth, you bring your original birth certificate. That's the official one with the stamp and the seal, right? You have to present yourself in person for an interview. If you're a woman and you're married, you will produce your marriage certificate. Right? If you were born outside of Grenada and you're applying by descent, meaning your parents were born in Grenada, you have to get your parents' birth certificate and your birth certificate from your country of birth. You pay the fee at any of the government treasuries and you come to the passport office. If you're renewing, it means that you would have had a passport before, so you have to walk with that passport on renewing. And you go through the same with the application, completed application form, your payment, receipt of payment, and so forth. Under the new regulation, as it relates to the replacing a valid passport, it is now $700 to have a valid passport replaced.
Okay.
So if you had a lost valid passport and you have to have it renewed, it's $700.
$700. So if you lost your passport and you need to have one replaced,
yes,
it's costing you $700.
$700, and you have to walk with your evidence of loss. So that could be an affidavit or a police report, and you do the whole process over. So you have to walk with all your documents as if you're applying for the first time.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. That's basically the process there.
Well, in terms of the application process.
Okay.
Yes.
How long does it take now to get a passport? How long would it take for someone wanting to get a passport?
It's 3 working days for the persons renewing their passports. So you have all your documents intact. It's 3 working days to get a passport. There are times where we may be a little overwhelmed with work because as of lately we have so many persons applying for a passport. So sometimes the process could take a little more than the 3 working days. All right. If you're above 18 and you're applying for the first time, we would advise you that it can take up to 7 days or maybe a little more, because with these applications we do little checks.
Well, there's a little vetting process.
Yes, of course.
All right.
So it could take a little longer if you're a first-time applicant above 18 years of age.
All right. What is the process for emergency passports? Someone wanted a passport. Maybe there's an illness that occurs and they have to leave the island. In of course, maybe the next day I'm noticed that my passport may have expired or something. What's the process? Someone wanting an emergency passport.
All right. So we offer emergency services. And we have the 24 hours service whereby you get your passport within 24 hours. As you said, someone may have an illness, or someone may be on the airport and they realize, hey, my passport is expired when they check in with the airline.
Guilty of that myself.
Yes. So you can come to the office and you would let us know that you need an emergency service, and it costs $100. We may also do a little background check, nothing, extensive, because we don't want, if you have a medical emergency, we may ask you for a referral from the doctor also, or something to prove that you're telling the truth, right? And once we are satisfied that you truly have an emergency, we grant you the service and you pay $100 extra. You may, we also have the express service that's within 48 hours. And that's where you pay $50 extra to get a service. And it's the same way you state your purpose for wanting the service or applying for the service.
Okay.
We try our best to facilitate persons.
All right. What about the Grenadians who are living abroad and may want to have their passports renewed and stuff? What's the process for them going through that?
Okay, so we have consular offices in different countries.
Yeah.
So in the U.S., we have 3 offices. We have one in Washington, we have in Miami, and we have in New York.
All right.
We also have in the United Kingdom, that's a High Commission. We have Trinidad. We have an office in Jamaica. We have an office in China. We have an office in Dubai.
Okay.
So the people overseas wanting to apply for a passport can use these consular offices to do so.
All right. And the process is similar to what takes place?
It's the same
Similar
process. Same process.
All right.
Yes,
All
they
right.
have to produce the same documents and all of that same process. And we encourage persons in the diaspora to use these consular offices because it's a safer route.
Yeah.
A person may want to send down their passport to someone in Grenada because they think, I'm going to pay in AC. So they will say, I'm going to send it to a family member in Grenada to apply for my passport for me. And then, or they might give it to somebody that's traveling.
All right.
It's a risk because if you're being searched by immigration in another country and they
find your passport to someone else,
yes, they
can
can confiscate it. Yes, they can confiscate it. Sometimes they even confiscate it without the individual knowing that it was taken from their luggage.
Okay.
So it's not a safe practice, and we want to encourage persons to use the consular offices because it will be from immigration to immigration.
Okay.
You understand?
Okay, I understand that. In this segment, we're inviting our listeners and viewers. If you do have a question or two you may like to, of course, ask the officers, feel free to do it in this segment. The phone number 435-2041, 435. You have double options of calling in. You can call in via the WhatsApp or you can call directly. That's 435-2041. Let me just get my lines all cleared up and let's entertain our first caller. I guess we may have lost that caller there. 435-2041. I'm seeing someone is sending a question here via the WhatsApp. They're asking, as an individual who has Grenadian passport, because their parents were born in Grenada, why they are not considered a Grenadian citizen? I'm assuming the person, they have a Grenadian passport, but their parents, is it were not born in Grenada or not born in Grenada? I'm trying to understand the question a wee bit. And they're asking why is they not considered a Grenadian, but I think they're probably a typo in how the person is stating the question. Let's take this caller. Caller, good morning and you're live.
It's great, Mr. Telesford. Greetings and greetings to your guest. There's a little issue that's been keeping me a little busy for a while, and I thought I'd get it clear with the immigration people. Yeah, welcome to your guest, I must indeed say too. It has to do with the word expatriate. Some people say expatriate. Hallelujah. Now, Grenadians living abroad are expatriates of Grenada according to the dictionary. What made them qualify? What qualified them? Because they're born and bred here, in some cases. They own the passports of our country, and they're citizens of Grenada. Now, I'd like to find out if the people who buy our passports for a sum, of course, that too and so on for me is treason, selling our passports. But I'd like to find out if these people out there, some of them, I understand, have never come to this here country. Question, are these people expatriates of Grenada? I hope you understand my question. I'll stand by for your answer. Have a nice day, Mr. Telesford.
Same to you, sir. Have a good morning. Anyone want to respond to the caller's question or questions?
Well, I'm not sure if I truly understand, exactly what he's asking, So I can't say, because I'm not clean of this too, Let's see if
sure
exactly, yeah.
All right.
It wasn't a direct, question per se.
Well, you have someone here is notably in the U.S. and they're saying, if I want to give my children Grenada passport, could I do it in New York? She's asking that question. Maybe they're Grenadian living in the U.S. and they want to give their children Grenadian passport. Could they do that in the U.S.? That's what they're asking.
Yes, they can apply in New York, yes. All right. And if you're a Grenadian born and you have children that are born in the U.S., you will be applying through parentage or descent, what we call it.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. And I think the individual may have updated their question or make it a bit more clear. They're saying that if you carry a Grenadian passport due to birth of your parents, why are you not? Why do you need a citizenship to file for your foreign children? That's what they're asking.
Oh, so I believe what they're asking is by second generation, right?
I would assume so.
Yeah, so they got it from their parents who were born in Grenada, but they want to pass it on to their children who was also born outside of Grenada. Right. But descent stopped with first generation.
This is first generation. Okay.
Yes.
So they will have to file for citizenship.
No, even if they file, they may not get through.
They may not get through.
Yeah, yes.
Okay.
Unless that person is of a service to the state of Grenada.
Okay. Of course, I hope the individual understands. We do have another caller. Caller, good morning once again. You're welcome in your live.
I beg your indulgences, sir. I beg your indulgences, sir.
Go right ahead, sir. Go right ahead.
Yes, you see, I heard from your guest there that he doesn't understand my question. But let's see if we could make it a little quote-unquote simpler. An expatriate is one who lives abroad from his country where he has full legitimacy to live in. My question was that the people who buy our passports and live in other countries now, are they considered to be expatriates of Grenada? Let me hear if you understand that or not.
All right, thank you, caller, and I'll leave it up to the officers to respond. Go ahead, if you could respond to the caller, if you want to understand this question a little more clearer now.
Okay, well, expatriates, well, persons, he make reference persons who never visit Grenadian. You know, there is people who holds citizenship, it's true, and they has not visit Grenada. We have the CBI process. Yes. Please.
Citizenship
by investment. And persons, and majority of those persons maybe never been to Grenada per se. But it's a service, and it's something that that the government has in place. And people can apply. It's legitimate. And the Immigration and Passport Department have a responsibility to issue passports to those persons, to those citizens. So if it's that indicating, I think that's best. I think I might be able to answer his question. Yeah.
We do have another caller. Caller via WhatsApp. Good morning. You're welcome and you're live.
Yes, good morning. I did not understand the answer that was given. If you are, your parents are born in Grenada, you got a passport, a Grenadian passport, because of your parents. Why do you have to apply for citizenship in order to allow your kids to get Grenadian passport? I don't understand. I thought once you get a Grenadian passport, you are a citizen of Grenada. Could you explain that, please?
All right, caller, thank you. Respond to the call.
If I understand what she's saying, if you a Grenadian by descent, meaning your parents was born in Grenada and you apply for a passport, you are a citizen, because according to the Constitution, once your parents are born in Grenada, that automatically makes you a Grenadian.
Okay.
However, there is the process where the Prime Minister is responsible for regulating how that is done. But as of now, we issue passport to Grenadian by descent. Persons have a choice whether they want to hold a citizenship certificate to show how you become a citizen, because some persons may ask, like they go to a certain entity and they want to know, how are you a citizen of Grenada, seen on the passport that you were born outside of Grenada. So they may ask for documents to show how you became a Grenadian citizen. So some persons, even though they have the passport, it's a choice whether they want to apply for the citizenship at Home Affairs or not. That's a choice. I don't know if she's referring to the second generation.
Okay. Okay. I hope that answers the individual's question. We do have another caller. Caller, good morning, and you're live.
Caller, good morning. Any special topic? Caller, good morning. Any special
Good morning
topic?
to you. We do have the immigration department with us this morning. Do you have a question in relation to immigration passport issue or something you may like to speak about?
No.
Okay, well, that's our conversation this morning. We do have a caller via WhatsApp. Caller via WhatsApp. Good morning. You're welcome.
Hey, good morning, GT, and good morning to your guest. What I'm trying to get clarified, knowing that the passport now is good to 10 years and renewal is taking place, everything is taking place at the office. Are there any other documents like to sign the pictures to get notarized? Do we have to do that, and what's the price? Thank you.
Okay, thank you. I guess you understand the
Okay, so all of the procedures remain the same. It's just in terms of the validity of the passport. In terms of the photo, yes, you still have to have one of the photos notarized if you're bringing photos to the office. If you're coming to the office, we have the option where you can have the picture taken at the office, and we only do soft copy, so there is no need to have it notarized. Okay, so I hope that answers the question.
All right. 435-2041. We have approximately 7 minutes left on today's program. If you do have a question or two as relates to, of course, immigration issues, or you may have an issue as relates to passport, you could also ask those questions this morning here on the program. 435-2041. I was looking at some question here. I think we already answered that particular one. The individual did call in as relates to that. Anything we have missed that you want to clarify this morning as we move on? Let's entertain our caller first, and then if they need to, we could probably take in our closing statements. Caller, good morning, and you're welcome.
Yes, good morning. To the immigration officer, I just want to ask that question. Now, as a retired police officer, I'm making an application for a new passport. What do I put? Retired police officer, unemployed? What do I put on the pass? What do I put on the application from officer?
All right, thank you.
If he's referring to the part of the form that has occupation, yes, he has to put retired police officer.
I guess that's kind of obvious.
Yeah.
I guess it's kind of a bit obvious. Call over our WhatsApp. Good morning, you're welcome.
All right, just something quick to clarify. Okay, if I'm coming home, all right, well, I'm a Grenadian, and then I have American passport. When I reach on the airport, would the immigration giving me time saying that I have American passport, or maybe inside my passport where it show in place of birth, would I able to stay the amount of time that I reached as a Grenadian?
Okay, thank you.
Okay, so your passport, even though you have an American passport, it will definitely show your country of birth. So with that, we treat you as a Grenadian. So we don't give you time to remain in Grenada.
Once you choose your country of birth. Yeah.
Yes, once you see your country of birth,
we admit you as a
Grenada, we admit you. So we don't give you no time to remain in Grenada.
Okay, great. Caller, good morning, you're live.
Hello.
Yes, caller, go right ahead, and you are live. Make your contribution, please.
Thank you. Do officers know about something called the Grenada Declaration? And if they do, is it still in effect? And they probably could explain what it is.
Caller, for 1 sec, I'm not sure if it's where you are located, but your background is very noisy. It's kind of difficult to hear all that you're saying.
I'm inquiring whether the officers know about the Grenada Declaration. And if they do, whether it is still in effect, and they could probably explain what it is about.
Okay, thank you. I hope you were able to hear what was asking. Something had requested the Grenada Declaration. I'm not sure.
I'm not sure what he's speaking about.
All right. Well, officers are saying they're not too sure, of course, about that. Let me see. There was another question here via the WhatsApp. Let me see if I could get that up. Of course. Not sure if that's related to. Let's take another call. Caller, good morning, and you're welcome. Good morning, you're live.
The Grenada Declaration had to do with the movement of persons in the OECS, I think, without passports. That's what it dealt with.
Okay, understandable. I think I understand where he's coming from.
With the OECS,
Yes.
Economic Union?
Yeah.
Well, not without a passport, but some other form of ID. So you can use, if you have the NIS ID, you could use a driver's license. So this allows you to move through the OECS countries. without a passport.
Okay, awesome.
Yes, visa ID.
All right. Let's take another caller. Caller via WhatsApp. Good morning. You're welcome and you're live. Good morning to you, caller, via WhatsApp.
Good morning. I was calling to find out. I was born in Grenada, and I become American citizen. I have one daughter that is American. Could I apply for a Grenadian passport for her?
Respond to the caller.
Yes, you can apply for a Grenadian passport for your daughter.
Okay, I guess that covers. Let's take another caller via WhatsApp. Call's a bit busy this morning. Caller via WhatsApp. Good morning. You're welcome.
Good morning.
Yes, good morning. Go right ahead, please.
I was trying to find out why, if you have a renewal of the passport, you have to do the whole form all over again when you should already have that form on file. All you need to do is should basically just pay the fees. Why you got to do a whole form over like you're applying for a new passport? I don't think that really makes sense. Could you explain?
All right. Any response to the caller? The caller may have dropped out there a bit.
Well, as it relates to the renewal, you know, some countries, they extend on the passport. So the number, everything may remain the same, but we don't renew passport as per se doing that. What we do, every time you apply, you get a new passport.
Okay.
Yeah, so
I'm assuming your passport number and stuff will change.
Everything changes.
Okay.
And there are times where people status changes. For example, I'm a woman. As women, we get married or marital status change. So there are additional documents that must be produced when you are applying for a renewal of a passport. So it is important that every time you apply for a passport, you do the application over. Information changes, people's status change, the address may change. So it's important that we capture the changes of information when you apply for the passport.
Okay. As you said also, it's a completely new passport.
Yes.
Even though it's a renewal, it's a completely new passport.
Yes.
We do have another caller. Caller, good morning, you're live.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Yes, good morning, sir.
Yeah, go right ahead with your contribution, please, caller.
Right. The head of immigration here.
Caller, you're getting a bit distracted by whatever device you have in the background. You may need to turn it off or wait a bit for us, please.
Right. There is no such thing as a Grenada Declaration. What we have is the Granans Declaration. And that declaration was made at the Grenada Grand Beach Resort. Now, that has since escalated to the revised Treaty of Chagaramas. So that is to do with the movement of persons within CARICOM. For the OECS, there is the revised Treaty of Basseterre, which is to do with movement of persons within the OECS Economic Union. So there's two different things. But there is nothing as a Grenada Declaration. It was the Grenada Grand Beach Resort where that event took place. But it is called the Grand Anne's Declaration. But that has since moved on to the revised Treaty of Chagaramas. Thank you.
Thank you, caller. Thank you very much. And I guess that offered some clarification there in terms of the gentleman that called in. Caller via WhatsApp. I think we had you a while ago. I'm not sure if you have an additional question you'd like to ask. Go right up, please. Go right ahead.
Hello?
Yes, go right ahead. I said you called a while ago. I'm not sure if you have an updated question.
As an American citizen, I want to find out if I could apply for a Grenadian passport. And have two passports, American and Grenadian. I was born in Grenada as well.
Okay.
Well, I think we did mention that a while ago. Maybe for of course, clarification purpose or just update, you could probably mention it again.
Yeah, so I believe she's asking the question because she wants to know if she can hold dual citizenship.
Yes.
I think that's where she wants to get. So yes, Grenada accepts dual citizenship, so you can apply for a Grenadian passport. You were born here, you're entitled to a Grenadian passport.
Even though you have an American passport.
Yes.
And you can travel with both.
Yes.
I know of individuals who actually do that when they come to Grenada. They actually use their Grenada passport.
Of course.
And when they're heading back, they use the American one.
Yes.
All right, let's take our final caller because we are almost strapped for time. Caller, good morning and you're welcome. welcome, and you're live.
Yeah, hi, GT. Yeah, let me get to the point. E-visa to England. How do one go along getting this as a Grenadian citizen, get an e-visa to the United Kingdom?
Okay, caller. I'm not sure if the officers could answer that for the
not really.
Yeah, well, that's a question. That's something for you to probably go online and contact any of the.
So you're not the immigration, but not responsible, per se, for giving information to visas for other countries.
No.
But if you say the UK, we have a UK office here. Here we can get source those information.
Yeah. You can go get it.
The British High Commission office, they might be able to supply him with those requirements.
All right, officers, I'm not sure if there's any closing contribution anyone would like to make this morning in terms of what we covered this morning. Anything in closing you'd like to speak about?
There is one thing I would like to add that we didn't mention on the illegal immigrants harboring.
Yes.
So it is an offense to harbor an illegal immigrant. And harboring means knowingly hiding or accommodating that person knowing it's an illegal immigrant.
Okay.
Right? So the person comes in illegally, they didn't check with an immigration officer, or they entered through a port outside of the authorized ports of entry. And yet for all, you take them in and you have them living with you. You know that the immigration probably have information or any other entity. Yes, might be. Yes.
Share it.
You didn't share it, and you have that person there. I just want you to know it's an offense, and if charged and brought before the court, you can be fined $12,000. Or imprisonment for 6 months in addition to the fine. So it is very important that you restrain yourself from committing such act.
Okay, great.
Yes.
Great. Anything in closing, Sergeant Fraser?
Contact numbers.
I would also like to encourage persons in terms of completing the passport form, the application form. There is an instruction sheet that is attached to the application form. You read that form thoroughly before attempting to complete the form. Because if you read it, you would have a general understanding of how the form is supposed to be done. Because from time to time, person will submit application, they will come to the office, and it seems as though they didn't read the form because they will be asking the same questions that are stated on the form. Or that could save you time. Because sometimes we may not be able to accept the application because simple things that you should have brought, you would say you didn't know, and we will have to tell you, look, it's written right here.
You should have gone through the form.
Go through the form. Yes, go
get some assistance if it's possible also.
Yes, you can always call our office if you do not understand anything on the form. Our number is 440-2456. So you can call the department, and we are willing to assist you with any questions that you may have. A lot of people call, and we work along with them.
Okay, great.
Yes.
Anything else in closing side? Closing contribution to us?
Well, yes. We hope that this morning program will at least enlighten persons as to our responsibilities and what we do at the Immigration and Passport Department. Persons who have questions, feel free to contact the immigration. Do just take it from the street or take it from someone else. Call in and to verify. You feel free to come in, ask questions. We want to ensure that we make Grenada a safe place. We ask the citizenry to work with us. Let's share as we endeavor to protect our borders, keep our borders safe, and our citizenship safe. Thank you for listening. Thank you to the general public, and have a great day.
All right. Wanda, thank you.
GT, I just want to add one more thing.
Sure, go right ahead.
Right? It now has the online payment.
Okay.
So instead of you having to go to any
treasury,
of the treasury,
so you can make your payment online.
You can make your payments online.
All right.
And it's pay.gov.gd. That's
right. And that is applied for Grenadians overseas also?
Also
so you can pay for your passport overseas.
You select the country that you live in, and you make the payment. You put in your name. Yeah.
All right. I want to thank you, officers, once again for coming on the program this morning and sharing the information. I'm sure it was fruitful for individuals who may just want some clarification on various things that it relates to immigration. And I certainly hope they will, of course, take the necessary information and do what they have to do.
Yes.
All right. Thank you once again. Hey, let me say thanks to all who, of course, be part of the program this morning. You sat at home, you listened, or those of you called in and, of course, made your contribution. Thank you also. Have yourself a great day. And join us again for another edition of To The Point. That's where we say goodbye for today's edition.